And we are live.
Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Jason Gervais, Keller Williams Realty, Covina, California, coming to you this time live from my office, unlike last time with the poor weather. Any case, I'm super excited this morning. Of course, with me as always is Matt, and he's going to be moderating our hangout for the time that we're together. I am going to be talking with Lisa Archer today, who is I don't know. If I could explain her in 3 words, she's social media extraordinaire. She is a Keller Williams agent doing it real big down in North Carolina, and she's going to be on with us in just a few moments to talk to us more about social media in general and also in her business in real estate and things that you can implement into your business to help your social media presence grow. So in the meantime, Matt, he's with me here. You want to say hi?
How's it going, everybody?
So we're gonna go ahead and he's got a couple questions that he wanted to ask me about things that I'm doing on social media from when I was an agent and also now that I'm in the team leader role as well. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with that before Lisa comes and joins us.
Yeah, and she should be on within just a couple of minutes, so she's having some technical issues on her end. And wanted to point out that there's a Q&A app right on the Google Plus page, so if you have questions for us and for Lisa when she gets on, if you submit those through the Q&A app, then I'll be able to see them, and then I can bring them to Jason and Lisa and get them answered live for you, which is awesome. The power of
That's very cool.
technology, it giveth and it taketh away. So, and if anybody doesn't know Lisa, you can also, she has a blog, thegeekygirls.com, that I wanted to promote for her, so if anybody wants to connect with her in that way. And I think actually she might be just joining us here. Lisa, is that you?
There she is.
We can see you.
Technology is fantastic when it works. All right, hold on, let me put my thing in here. I want to use that one. Yes, perfect. Is it on there? No. Yes, yes it is.
Yep,
All right,
we
good.
can see it.
Okay. Ah.
All right. So now that we are, I believe we're set up and ready to go. Lisa, can you hear us okay?
I can. Am I good? I had to use different microphone.
Yeah. Actually, you're great. I was expecting you to dial in from a phone, so the way it sounded like it was going. So we're glad you can join us. So yeah. So Jason, what are the main kind of the question that you had for Lisa on how she's using social media right now?
You know, I think I know when I was an agent, one of the biggest things when I was talking with folks and seeing what they're doing that's different. One of the things I always try to lead with revenue in whatever I do. So how are you tracking your return on investment? Not just money-wise, but the time that you put into it, because some of these things that you're doing, it does take a lot of time to create and generate the content. So how do you track your results?
Are you saying social media in general, or
Yeah,
just online?
Just in general. Like for example, business that might come of it. Are you asking people, hey, how'd you hear about me? And like, for example, they say, oh, I saw you on YouTube or I saw you on Twitter. And then do you dump more money into those products in those services, or how are you tracking your return on investment?
So we have a system. We have a system for everything. We use we don't call it a database. We call it a data bank. Everything that goes inside of our data bank is our bank of business for now and in the future. We don't use the word leads. We use the word opportunity. Every person that ever enters our data bank is an opportunity, whether it's for now or for later, or they know someone for a referral, or they know someone who knows someone for a referral. So we just treat it a little bit different. We treat everyone the same, but we also treat them a little bit different. If they came in as a referral, we're going to do things a little bit different, but we're going to treat them the same as if somebody that called on a sign. So we track everything. Suffice it to say, if you opened up our data bank, which is curator powered with the CRM that is actually Follow Up Boss, you're going to be able to see what source they came from, or what tag we gave them, or what what emails they've been sent, or how many times we've called them, and what was the discussion, or are we texting them, or and that actually, it's funny, I get to talk about this, and Lauren's sitting behind me. She's our data bank manager, and she's the head of our lead generation department, which was that was probably the hardest hire I've ever made, because that's what I've been doing. That's how I built our business. That's how we get the amount of referrals that we get. That's how we get the past clients sent. They're not past clients. Our clients are sending us more people, or they're calling us back, 5 years after they've been in their house and they need to move. I've got somebody right now that's been in their house 5 years, and they were never going to move. Mm-hmm. They wanted their son to finish high school here in the Carolinas, and she called me or texted me probably 2 months ago and said, my daughter-in-law's about to have a baby in Alpharetta, Georgia, so
nice.
We're going to sell the house and move to Alpharetta. I know you know people there, so I've already hooked them up with an agent there, and we're about to put their house in the market. So somebody who was never going to move, things are going to change. We're friends on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I knew she was about to have a baby, so I make sure, not that that's the reason, I had no idea she'd want to move to Georgia, but I knew she was about to have a grandbaby. Right. And it's all about the relationship building and keeping in contact with them. And I can honestly say we haven't done a great job of that, except for the people that I've been friends with Facebook. All of my past clients, or people that we've already done a deal with, that I'm still friends with on Facebook, I've kept up with them really, really well, because I see what's going on in their daily lives. Now, not everybody else that either didn't have Facebook 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago haven't done as well with them, mm-hmm. because we weren't keeping up with them like we should.
Right.
Now, of course, we're making sure that we are well connected, and my buyer's agents are friending their clients, and our listing agents are friending their clients, just so we could, and it's part of our business model.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of Facebook, do you have a certain maybe ratio that you post? Like, do you do like a 9-to-1 or 10-to-1 ratio? Like, for example, maybe 9 things about personal, like, hey, I went to try this place today and I had great service here, or, hey, I'm listening to Lionel Richie right now, and then how do you squeeze in the business part? I know you like my Lionel Richie reference, don't you?
Dancing on the Ceiling. My parents went to a Lionel Richie concert when I was like 7, and I was really upset that I couldn't go, because they actually got to see him do the whole upside down dancing on the ceiling thing. So you're bringing up bad memories right now.
I'm so sorry.
I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, that did happen. So I just like everything else in life, I think 80-20 applies on Facebook.
Sure.
And you're right, I probably gear a little bit closer to 90-10. A good rule of thumb is 80-20. So 80% personal. Mine's going to be, if you were on my Facebook yesterday, I went to the gym, and I go to the gym a lot now. It's become a really big part of my daily routine, my life. I like to lift weights, and I'm training for a half marathon. So you're going to see a lot of that stuff. You're going to see a lot of pictures of my children. You're going to see a lot of inspirational, positive quotes, taking over the world type stuff. And then you're going to see like that 1 or 2 things. This morning but it's cute and it's engaging. Today's National Law Enforcement Day, and we 3 of our agents are Homes for Heroes advocates, and so I was able to post a picture of a baby with that's wearing like a police outfit with a box of donuts, and said, "Have you thanked your local police officer today?" So even that, which was business, because I did put a blog post that links back to our Homes for Heroes stuff, but even that was was still engaging, and not necessarily, hey, 1, 2, 3 Main Street's for sale, because we just don't do that.
And Lisa, I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Since you are so heavily involved in social media, it seems like, and you genuinely enjoy it.
Yeah.
How do you separate out something that's enjoyable that doesn't seem like it directly contributes to business right away? You really have to separate that out from your prospecting or revenue driving activities, or even just managing your teams, that they're doing those things that directly drive your business. How do you keep those two worlds separate?
Okay, so I don't feel like, because it's what I do and how I've built our team, I don't feel like I have to keep it separate. And the way I'll say that is, so I incorporated something a couple of years ago when Facebook went to the list. List was a life changer in my Facebook world. I'm back up to 5,000 friends and literally have to go through every day. And I've incorporated this, what I'll call the birthday method. So on Facebook, if we're friends, I'll go and tell people, everybody that's on my friends list that's their birthday that day, happy birthday. And I'll go through and make sure, okay, do I really know who this person is? Cause I can't accept any new friends. So do I really know who this person is? Are they on the right list? That's how I got all of them on the right list. It took a full year, telling people happy birthday, putting them on the right list. So I tell you that piece to go into the what I call the 5-5-5 method. I've got about 5 different lists that I go to every day. One of them's I should change this, but one of them's called past clients. One of them's called agent sphere, so like agents all across the country. One of them's called local sphere, so like my vendors and our mortgage guys that we have really close relationships with. Everybody that lives in Charlotte, could have been that goes to church or plays ball with my kids. So anybody that lives in the area. One of them's my family list, and one of them's my close friends list. And so I literally will go through in the morning. Takes about 15 minutes, and 15 minutes at night, so I do it twice a day, and I go through that, that close friends list, and I will scroll down, and I will like 5 things, and then I'll go through the other 4 lists the same, so then I've hit 25 people just liking post. Sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 7, but it's about, to call it 5-5-5 is just easier. And then I'll go back to those same 5 lists, and I will comment on 5 different statuses. So-and-so had a baby, or so-and-so's getting a divorce, or so-and-so's just named this list, or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. A cute picture of somebody's child playing soccer. It doesn't matter. And I'm genuinely interested, so that is literally I'm genuinely interested. So I'm going to comment on 5. So that's another 25 touches. And then I'm going to go back, and I usually have about 10 birthdays a day, so I'm going to, the last piece of the 5 is to either send 5 notes or messages, or write on 5 people's wall. So 10 of that typically is happy birthday, but I still go back through, so that's another 25 people. So I hit 75 people in less than 15 minutes twice a day, so I hit 150 people on social every day, different people. They're not all this, they're never, probably hardly ever the same.
Wow, that's a lot of people to hit in such little amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's impressive. What's your favorite social media? I don't know. Like right now, what's your favorite app?
Well, it's funny. So right before I came here, I was having lunch with my counterpart Lori, the other geeky girl, and we were having lunch with a guy that works at Facebook.
Oh, no kidding. That's pretty cool.
I was on an airplane flight about 2.5 years ago from Charlotte to San Francisco, and the guy that happened to sit next to me for the 6-hour direct flight works at Facebook. And he not only works at Facebook, he runs one of the data centers, and there's only 3 in the world.
Wow.
And he was going to Palo Alto, and he was like, "What are you doing this afternoon?" I'm like, "Well, I'm going with you." We chat. We've talked the entire. I know it's hard to believe that I don't typically talk to people on airplanes, but I don't. But we talked the entire time because I was doing something on Facebook, doing a group or I was in a group or in a message or I don't know what it was. I was doing something, and he was like, "So you really like that?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I kind of teach and speak," and then he was like, "Oh, well, give me your card." And so I handed him my card. I had a geeky girl one, so that was kind of cool. It wasn't just my real estate card, and I handed it to him, and then I was like, "Well, hand me yours," and he handed it to me. I'm like, you have to be kidding me. I'm like, are you serious that the next 6 hours you get to sit next to me? I am so sorry.
That's quite a treat. That's pretty cool though.
So we were the first outside trainers to teach for Facebook about Facebook, and we were just discussing doing some more training, and we have a couple ideas for them, and we get to beta now, so it's super cool.
That's
so I
really
still have to say my favorite app right this second is probably the Facebook group app.
Okay. The Facebook group app. I've never heard of that. So thank you for sharing that.
So if you're in groups on Facebook, there's now a separate app where you can have and you can tell it whether you want the notifications or you don't. Well, we get a lot of referrals, and I can now see them. Like if I happen to be on my phone and I can see something scroll down, like I can see right here. There's so and so just mentioned you in a group, so I can literally. Well, okay, so I can either open it up or I don't. I like it.
Well, that's really cool. So I'm going to go take a look at that.
Yeah.
The Facebook group app. All
awesome.
right, very cool. I like that. You know, and this is going to get a little off topic, but I got to ask.
Yeah.
Because I talk to a lot of new agents that are coming on board to Keller Williams here in Covina. I talk to them about what they're passionate about, obviously, and a lot of them want to do other things, but they're using real estate as a conduit to do those other things. Mm-hmm. You're running two businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have a business within a business while you're at your real estate office at Keller Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk to me a little bit about that? Because that's pretty cool. I had a long conversation with someone yesterday. You know, she gave me the honor of coming in to meet me, and her true passion is actually interior design.
Mm.
And what she wants to do, she understands that, you know, it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of money, and she's going to use real estate as a conduit to get there.
She's going to get to have a nice little niche in her listing presentation.
Exactly, and that's what I talked to her about. I was like, that's brilliant, because I know for myself and my team, when I was selling real estate, every home that we listed, we staged, you know. And so I talked to her about that a little bit. But can you talk about your business within a business and how you do that and how's it going?
Well, it's interesting. So, you know, I've been in real estate at KW my entire career.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 8 years. I understand that. And that's a lot. I've met so many people and so many agents all over the country. I mean, that's how I have 5,000 friends. And not just at Keller Williams. I've got agent friends at Coldwell Banker, and I know the CEOs there, and Remax, and I have met the CEOs there, and every real estate company, whether people that own their own company, and like the guys at Go Realty, the good friends of mine up in Raleigh, and so I've been able to meet a ton of people, and so my true passion really is coaching and teaching and training and speaking, and like that whole gamut. And right. I've been blessed to be in a industry that loves that, and that my passion of what those things happens to be that I'm knowledgeable and do well on social and internet marketing, and now team building and expansion and some of that type stuff. So I've been able to, I now have a platform and right. long enough history and some nice accolades. When you're named in the news 2 years in a row, and then Stefan Swampole puts you on the Power 200 list, and just this past week was the 33 people changing the industry. That was a major shocker. So I now have a platform where I have a lot of validity, and I can go and do and speak and teach and train. And so like this year I have a goal of, and I think it's probably too small, is to raise $15,000 for KW Kids Care, and mm-hmm. also raise money for our nonprofit that we support. We've built something called Live Love Veterans inside of Live Love Homes, where we've partnered with a veterans group called Purple Heart Homes, and they build homes for service-connected disabled veterans. And anyway, basically, so the veterans are able to come in and purchase the house at half price, and then they get all of these I mean, not only do they get a house, they get support and classes on how to reintegrate back into the community, and a community that comes around them and helps them retrofit this house to meet their needs, whether it's physical or if it's emotional or whatever. And so we've been able to, that's a true passion of mine, is to be able to help fund and support that. So my training and speaking fees this year, most of it's going towards that. So it's really cool.
Yeah, that is really cool that you started off a career in real estate, and then that has led you to all these other paths because of the really cool people that you met along the way, and just the opportunities just open up.
Absolutely, and you have to be looking for the opportunities. You can get upset about, we started over almost from scratch last year. We had some things happen at the end of 2013 that I never imagined could happen after closing 300 units, and we basically started over at the beginning of last year, and now we're in 7 expansion cities. 8 is about to open, and it's pretty awesome.
Right.
I keep seeing all the stuff behind you, and it's like, hi Gary, hi Mary.
Oh, you're seeing my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I squirrel.
Well, yeah, it's part of me thought I should shut it off, and then I forgot, and so it's up there. But yeah, we get to learn about e-agency and everything.
Absolutely.
So, and congratulations, by the way, for all those huge achievements and accolades. I mean, that's just that just proves that not only are you knowledgeable, but you're also you're putting it out there and sharing your knowledge with everybody, and truly are open about coming on, and I'm so happy that you came on and talked with us and everybody online with us. It's
fun. I like it. It's I can give back that way.
Absolutely.
People shared with me in the beginning, and I'm ever grateful. And luckily, some of those people like Mark Stain and Ben Kinney are dear friends of mine.
Right.
They didn't have to do that.
Right.
They did, and that's what this company is about. And
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. No, absolutely, and it certainly is our culture. Definitely our culture. But it also speaks to you as a person, as a human, that you're warm, you're open, and you're giving, and people sense that, and they want to give to you, and because they know that you're going to give back. So it says a lot about yourself as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. All this technology that you have and that you implement and use in your team. I know it's a help. Almost all the technology helps. A lot of it, there is learning curves to all the technology.
Absolutely.
How do you stay away from the shiny object? You know what I mean? This new fancy thing comes out, and you're like, wow, that looks really cool. Because I'm a gadget guy. I love I mean, if you saw my office, I have every toy you can imagine. How do you stay away from the shiny object?
So that's hard, and that actually took a lot of trial and error, because in the beginning I would say, okay, well, let's try that for 3 months or 6 months or whatever, and let's try that for, let's see how that works. And now I have the right people in place, so a lot of times those emails or whatever don't necessarily get to me first. They have to go through somebody like Lauren, and if they can convince her, then I might look at it. And she's a tough cookie.
She's like the silent assassin in the back there.
So it's funny. So she like yesterday, somebody called from some company. They were like, "Well, we spoke to one of your agents in one of your expansion cities, and she said that we were going to do either a cutout or a picture of us on a something to do with a grocery store, and you were going to pay for it." And she was like, well, I can guarantee you Lisa's not paying for her picture to be on the grocery cart. I was like, really? So, yeah. And, I love it when Google or somebody pretending they're from Google, hey, I can put you on page 1. I'm like, that's awesome. Do you know who I am? Did you Google me? That's my standard response back. Or Bing. I'm like, did you look me up on Bing?
Right.
Do you know who I am? I don't ever use that unless it's somebody like that who I'm like, seriously, you didn't do your research before you called.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just blindly calling you.
Yeah,
and
I'm on a list. I get it.
Yep. Yes, to be on a list. All right, it's going to sound like a weird question, but what's that say in the background there? What's over your left shoulder?
Oh, it says, to accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream, not only plan, but also believe.
Wow.
Now, I know I should probably cross out the buts and make them ands, but I can't help that somebody else wrote it.
Right. Diana Kokoska would not
be
approve.
Diana. I might have to put some masking tape and make it say and. It's not what approved.
She'll probably send you a IM later on talking about that.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, so I don't know if Matt has any more questions, but I got one question to ask you, and and I don't know, it's kind of a weird question. Are you an Apple person or a Mac PC person?
All right, Mac. I'm talking to you on a Mac. I have an iPad here somewhere. So yeah, Mac.
You're a Mac person. Okay. All right.
And Lauren's thinking, can you replace my PC with a Mac?
All right. Well, we still love you anyways. I'm definitely a PC person, but I just thought I'd ask for all those geeky people out there like you and I, what you're using for platforms, for hardware.
Yeah, and we don't have any questions from the audience necessarily, but Lisa, I had just a final question for you in the last few minutes we've got left. Let's say someone kind of is in the position where you're at in terms of being a team leader, but they themselves are not that into social media, trying to, thinking about jumping into it, how to kind of integrate it into their business. What would you advise as kind of the baby steps, just the very simple things they need to do to start engaging on social media?
Well, it's funny. So I got into a discussion with another team leader the other day, and they're like, why do you still do your Facebook? I'm like, because it's me. Right. And that's, the personal stuff, business stuff, I'd be fine to let somebody else run it. It's just, if I start posting stuff on Facebook and it's coming from a, like if Lauren was posting for me, they're going to know that's not me. So I would say, and it's funny because it's going to be the same answer I would give you if you were starting as a new agent that needs to start lead generation and you don't have any money. And you need to take a list and you need to write down your 20 closest people in your sphere. So the 20 people that if I happen to walk up to them on the street and said, oh, I need to buy a house, they're going to say, oh, Jason's your guy. Every single time. It's Jason's your guy. And then you're going to go back through, and you're going to have those 20, and then you're going to go back through and say, okay, so that top person, who do I know through them? So say it's your trainer at the gym. Well, who are the 3 people you know now because you met your trainer at the gym? So you've got a list of 80 people. That 20 you can call 5 days a week. So you touch every single one of them once a month. And then the other 3, you're going to call. You're going to be able to call them quarterly. So you've got 80 people that you can call and just call and say hi, or you've got a new listing, or who do you know, or you've got a hiring need. You've got 80 people day one you start calling and developing relationships with, and you're going to have those people on Facebook or on Twitter or wherever they decide is their social world, and you're going to interact with them. And you don't necessarily have to call them every time, but you're going to make sure that you have really good contact and real contact with them, 12 times a year, or the other people you're going to be able to So those, literally that's day one. What I tell everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to interject a little. I know I said I'd have a final. I already said my final question, but you hit on something that it's real easy to get caught up in the money of things, and I want to spend money on this, spend money on that. But you can start real basic. Actually, I'm not even going to say use basic. You can get started and do some real big things in social media, and not pay a ton of money. Putting content on YouTube and Facebook, and making, picking up a book and looking on YouTube and finding out how to do the SEO yourself, the search engine optimization yourself. in the beginning,
I did all that myself.
you don't need to spend a ton of money.
Yeah.
Now, when you get up to Lisa's status and a big time agent and getting known for everything, then you can hire out and leverage that out.
Right.
But in the beginning, lead with revenue, save that money,
Absolutely.
do it yourself, learn how to do it.
Absolutely.
And also, you mentioned the Facebook about doing the Facebook yourself and not giving that to someone else. I can't agree with that more. I mean, you got to be real on it. People want real. They don't want a perfect response or a perfect sentence. God knows if you read my stuff, I don't even know what a period or a comma is.
Right.
So, but people that know me know that's me.
Right.
And they know it's real. And the same thing when Lisa responds to someone, they know that's Lisa. So you just got to be real on it, and it doesn't cost a lot of money.
No.
So I appreciate that you touched on that, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's $100 here, it's $25 there. That stuff adds up.
Mhm.
Yeah, it adds up. So.
Well, there's a lot of other good stuff out there. If you're going to pay for it, pay for it more on like your business page or your your other type of marketing. That's where you need to pay for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And not saying that a good premium business page isn't important, because it is. But there's a lot of different, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Yelp. I mean, there's so many other platforms out there that aren't going to cost you money.
Right.
A little bit of time, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you for that. Matt, what do you think? What are your thoughts, buddy?
Well, I wanted to say I love, Lisa, your approach to the database as a data bank, and talking about social media, your personal Facebook page, that cap at 5,000, the fact that it forces you to go back through. I was just talking to Brad Korn about that the other day, where he goes through 5 people in his database every time and make sure he's connected with them, make sure they're still active in his database.
Right.
And it's cool that you use that limit as that way to force yourself to do that. But, I mean, you know this better than anyone. Those 5,000 people on Facebook that could be your book of business for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
And you might never need anything beyond that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So if people would like to get in touch with you, Lisa, what's the best way to learn more about you, and especially the other coaching and training that you do?
So my personal Facebook is Lisa Archer, and the Geeky Girls. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we have web pages. liveloverealty@gmail.com. That's our email address. And anything you need, just let me know.
Yeah.
Always of
excellent.
service.
And then
thank you.
Yeah, and then Jason, if anybody is interested in kind of learning more about what you do there in the KW office in Covina, how can they reach you?
That's a great question. My number directly, 626-966-3641. You can also find me on the YouTube, the Facebook, the Twitter. I'm everywhere. And you can also hit me up. My email is jgervais, G-E-R-V as in Victor, A-I, S as in Sam, @kw.com as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, guys. Lisa, I'm glad that the internet turned on again. Right.
Technology is awesome when it works.
That's right. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All right,
Lisa. Have a great day. Thank you, Matt.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Have a good weekend.